Now that you've understood and used the idea of branching charts and classification keys, that leads us very naturally into this idea of taxonomy. Taxonomy is simply the fancy way of saying that we're going to classify organisms. We're going to put them into categories. And as the definition here states, we're going to also assign each organism then a universally accepted name. It's a pretty complicated process given the fact that there are a whole lot of living things out there, but it needs to follow some of the basic rules that you learned in making the branching charts and the classification keys. The system that we now use is a system of taxonomy that was invented a long time ago by somebody named Linnaeus, who you see pictured here. Now, although we have made some changes and alterations to his system, the basic premise is still the same as what he developed back in the 1700s. As we look here at some examples, we look first of all at the left at what are referred to as the taxonomic categories. And if we start here at the top, the first taxonomic category that we get to is that of domain. Now, the thing that you need to understand about domain is that it is an extremely broad category. To explain that, let's use an example. If we look at these names here in blue, these are the taxonomic categories of us, humans. And the domain that we are assigned to, the very broad category, is that of eukarya. Eukarya, in order to be put into that domain, you have to have some qualification to be there. In other words, anybody who is assigned to the category of eukarya for its domain must be a living thing that is made out of cells, and those cells have to have a nucleus. That's it. That's how a living thing gets put into that particular taxonomic category. So we are in the domain eukarya, which is really broad. We are in the same category as every other animal on the planet. We are in the same category there as every other plant on the planet, every fungus on the planet. If you're in the same category as, let's say, bread mold, that must be a pretty broad category. The idea then being that with every step you go down, from domain to kingdom, from kingdom to phylum, to class, to order, to family, to genus, and finally to species, you are getting more and more specific in terms of describing that particular organism. So again, we're in the domain eukarya because we're made out of cells and those cells have a nucleus. We bump ourselves one category down, we get to kingdom, and we are in the kingdom Animalia. We're multicellular, we're motile, meaning we move, okay? So again, we share that category with a whole bunch of other living things, but not as many as we had up here. Like all the plants have now been removed. All the fungi have now been removed. Within the animal kingdom, we are in the phylum Chordata. That means that basically we have a spinal cord. Do all things that are animals have spinal cords? No. So we've gotten a little bit more specific. We've sectioned out a bunch of animals that no longer meet the qualifications. We bump ourselves down one more level. We're now in a class, and we are in the class Mammalia. Here's a term you're probably a bit familiar with, unlike the Chordata one. What does it mean to be a mammal? Well, we have body hair or fur. We're warm-blooded. We feed our young with milk. Okay? All mammals do that. Not all chordates are mammals. So again, we've sectioned off a portion of the population that existed in the category above it. And we just continue to do so as we go down. There are certain characteristics that get us into the category or the order of primates. We are in the family Hominidae. We are in the genus Homo, and we are in the species Sapien. So these are the taxonomic categories of a human. And when we were way up here, this being a broad category, we shared that category with lots and lots and lots of other living things. But as we move down the categories, we kept sectioning off individuals that didn't fit, and by the time we get down here, we're all by ourselves. It's just us humans. If we compare that in blue to what we have in green here, you'll notice the same trends. We have very broad categories at the top, and as we work our way down, they become more and more specific. You'll notice a lot of these words are the same. Eukarya, Animalia, Chordata, Mammalia, Primate, Hominidae. Whatever this living thing is, we share a lot of categories with it. What that also means is that we must share a lot of characteristics with it. But do we share all of them? Well, no, because we're not in the same genus. This organism is in the genus that's known as Pan, and we are in the genus of Homo. We don't share the same species either. This is Troglodytes as opposed to Sapien. This is a chimp. And so yes, we do share a lot of the same characteristics, but of course, not all. And if we do the same thing with this organism over here in purple, Eukarya, that's the same. Animalia, that's the same. Chordata, Mammalia. Oh, but we get to something different here in the order category. Carnivora, different. Different family, different genus, different species. So, do we share characteristics with this organism? Yes, but we don't share as many characteristics as we do with this chimp here. I don't know if any of you know what this is, but this is a dog or a wolf, which is basically the same thing. In terms of those categories and what we share and what they don't share, you can think of the importance of that when it comes to the topic of evolution, which is a topic that we should get to at the end of this course. The more categories that are shared, the closer the evolutionary relationship is between these organisms. So, in other words, although we're related to both chimps and dogs, we are more closely related to the chimps, and we know that because we share more categories with them. All of this can be represented in picture form with what you see here in front of you. You can see domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. It tries to show you how broad the domain category is. It shows you the black bear up here at the top, other bears, but then you get to a whole bunch of other different animals, and hey, there's plants and fungi, etc. down here, all included, with a whole bunch of pictures that could be included but are not. And with each step to the left, going from domain to kingdom, from kingdom to phylum, etc., you can see that the number of individuals that fit into that category, along with the black bear, keeps being reduced until you finally get down here to the very end, and the black bear is all by itself in the species category.